Hi guys, welcome to the first grammar video, which is mainly about the passive voice. So today you have two main objectives. So first one, you are going to differentiate to know the difference between active and passive voice and to write sentences in the passive voice. But we will focus on the simple present and the simple past. Before starting the passive voice lesson, I think it's very important for students or learners to memorize regular and irregular verbs. So as you can see here in this worksheet, so I will give you some seconds to see if you are aware of these verbs, past and past participle. So regular and irregular verbs are extremely important to memorize and master in order to understand the passive voice, especially the past participle. So here is some of the answers to the previous exercise. Catch, caught, caught, feel, felt, etc. I want you to look carefully at this picture. So obviously there is a door and the door is opened. So do we know who did the action of opening the door? No. Do we care who did the action? No. So this is where exactly we use the passive, when we don't know who did the action. Hey, guess what? This is my grandfather. I'm just joking. He doesn't look like me. Well, here my grandfather opens the door, so we know who did the action. So my grandfather did the action of opening the door. That's why we call this sentence active, and the one before is passive, where we don't know who did the action. Now I want you to look at these two examples and try to study them carefully. So my grandfather opens the door is opened. So what are the differences between these two sentences? So we have the second one is, and the verb becomes opened. So what happened exactly? It is very clear now, hopefully. It is very clear to you the main differences between active and passive sentences. So as you can see, opens becomes opened. So the past participle of open. And we also added another verb, which is to be. So is. So I'm going to show you more details in the next slide. I said before that it is very essential to learn regular and irregular verbs. It is also essential to learn to be, both in the simple present and in the simple past, because we use it in the passive voice, with the past participle, of course. As you can see here in these two examples, my grandfather opened the window. So here the verb is in the simple past. So if we want to change this sentence into the passive voice, we have to put to be into the simple past, which is was. So my grandfather opened the door was opened. We can add by my grandfather. This is to be in the simple past. As I said before, it is also crucial to master to be in both tenses, the simple past and the simple present, because we use it in the passive voice. Yep. Now time for some practice. So we'll practice 10 verbs. We'll change them into the passive voice. So I send a letter is sent. So repeat with me. Speak is spoken. Good. Write is written. Do is done. Finish is finished. Drive is driven. Good job. So now let's practice simple past. We'll practice the same verbs. I sent a letter. So a letter was sent. Speak was spoken. Write was written. Do was done. Finish was finished. Drive was driven. Watch was watched. Dream was dreamed. So we use was for singular and were for plural. That's right. Here is a little exercise for you. So I would like you to rewrite these sentences, or let's say put them into the passive voice. I gave you the first example. So I want you to focus on the verbs. The key words here are the verbs. So focus on the verbs. Okay? Okay, here is another exercise related to the simple past. So I would like you to put the sentences into the passive voice. Pay particular attention to the verbs. So here we have the simple past. Okay? You may pause the video and do the exercise. Alright. So these are the sources of the 3 pictures used in this tutorial. The 2 main objectives of this tutorial were achieved, hopefully. So now I'm going to say goodbye to you and see you in the next video, or the next second part about the passive voice, and we will talk in more details about the other cases. Thank you.